My name is Joey Nunez Estrada. I'm a PhD candidate in the School of Social Work. I'm in my 5th year, and my mentor is Dr. Ron Astar. And we help Dr. Astar write the grant, Building Capacities grant. And my particular research is looking at gangs in schools communities. So a big part of this grant that I'm interested in is looking at gang membership rates across the different schools and comparing them, the civilian and military students. Comparison rates, and also looking at some school protective factors such as school support, school connectedness, meaningful participation, and see how those protective factors are influencing gang membership rates for both civilian kids and military students as well. Another component of the grant that I wanted to kind of emphasize is the translational science that's going on. With the data from the California Healthy Kids Survey that we're using, we'll be able to get a full needs assessment of all these schools and be able to provide evidence-based programs to these school sites based on their needs. And I think that's one component that hasn't been done in research, and specifically in military research at all. So I think that's going to be a very good, valuable, I don't know the right word, valuable tool for research in general.
Do you think that that's, is that study going to be the best way to kind of figure out the numbers of where either military students are and how many there are?
Yeah, I think so. This is going to be the first study that ever looks at military-connected schools and students. There's no research out there that's looking at that. So to gather this data on all these different students, parents, administrators, and staff, we're going to have a full range of data available to let us know a lot of good, juicy information about what are the similarities and what are the differences that these kids are going through at schools. So that it'll be a wealth of knowledge that's going to get us a ton of data for military-impacted, military-connected kids.
So you mentioned about gang numbers, and so it's pretty easy, I guess, to get the numbers on military children because you can put it on the form and they can fill it out. How do you find out the number or how do you find out gang activity and gang numbers?
Well, on the California Healthy Kids Survey, there's one question that asks the students if they consider themselves a member of a gang. So self-report is the way we're going to be able to gauge the gang membership rate there. So that's on the core of the California Healthy Kids Survey. And with the military module also, we'll be able to see and compare military students versus non-military students to see if the rates are similar or different, and what factors play into that as well. So
I guess one more question on that kind of topic. Is there an issue? Are people willing to just I mean, I don't know much about gangs, but is that something that they would fill out in a form?
Yeah, different researchers say that that's the most reliable source, and you'll get more valid numbers than you would if you asked law enforcement or parents or other folks to fill out that the self-report is the most reliable source. So it's a good gauge, and especially what we can do is also ask, when we ask the parents and we ask the administrator and staff, we can do some comparison and also compare with community data that's out there from law enforcement agencies to see if the numbers are around the same accurate range.
Yeah. Okay. Tell me about your personal experiences with military-dependent students or children and their families.
Yeah, well, I come from a family that has a lot of Marines in it, and so that's where my personal interest in this project grew. And when Dr. Astar decided to write the grant, I wanted to jump on board with that. And so we've been part of the process from its birth to now inception and implementation. So it's been really, really a journey throughout. And working with the different school districts and the administrators at the school district, superintendents, policymakers, and things of that sort, and just learning myself about the different cultural values and techniques and things that are available out there, the resources that are available for the military students is amazing. So it's all new to me, and I'm excited about it, and I'm eager to help out the children and the students, and I think it's going to be a fun ride.
Yeah. What do you think are...
Sorry to interrupt. I'm just going to move the mic up just a touch. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
I always do this. I just need to spot something really.
It's because I was just perfect. That's what. Oh, I have a radiant glow to me that it affects the lighting. Don't record that. No.
All right, let's see. Let's go with, when dealing with military dependent children, what do you think is the top priority?
I think the top priority when dealing with military children is getting everyone involved, the community as a whole, in particular the school. All the people in the school need to be involved and engaged. Parents, bringing in community stakeholders, things of that sort. Everyone should be involved in the whole process to help provide services and fulfill any needs that are apparent when working with these kids.
How do you think the public education has responded to the needs of military dependent children?
I would say right now we don't know that because there's no research out there that has analyzed or looked or assessed what public education is doing for military connected students. So I think this is a very valuable project that's going to be able to provide answers to that particular question and see how we can change policy and school reform efforts to help or to assist or to improve the academic and social emotional outcomes for all students in general, but primarily with this project, the military connected students as well.
What do you hope personally, and what do you hope that the other students and interns learn from this workshop this weekend?
Just to get a sense of the military culture and how it's its own culture in itself, and how to work with kids or deal with kids that are going through different types of things such as deployment and reunion and things of that sort. Learn the skills that are valuable so they can take back to their schools, and as they're working with these students and these families, have the appropriate skills and techniques to be able to work and address some of these kind of concerns that come up because of the war and deployment and things of that sort. So, filling them with enough skills in their tote bag to be able to go back to their sites and be able to help and assist.
So I'm assuming you've done a good amount of research. What do you think is the most valuable piece of information that you have learned in all your research about this program?
Oh wow, that's a difficult question.
Sorry.
Yeah. I think just getting the general knowledge that the data produces for, that the research and the data brings in about all these students in general. The California Healthy Kids Survey has an array of questions that are going to have valuable information about their health, about the safety, about violence behaviors, about drugs behaviors, things of that sort, that's just going to have a whole array of information for the schools, the parents, and everybody to be able to provide the adequate and appropriate resources in those particular schools, in those communities, and things of that sort. So just kind of engaging a knowledge of what is going on and what these kids are dealing with or what they're doing good at, as well, is going to be very, very important because we don't know that information to date. So I think this project is going to be very valuable in bringing that information to the public eye and hopefully change some policies that are out there and school reform efforts, to improve the overall kind of educational outcomes for these kids.